A great humanitarian once said that the difference between a career politician and a leader is the politician cares about the number of years served, and the leader just cares about serving. This defines Senator Chris Duenas. He is a seasoned statesman whose focus has always been on being a champion for the masses and a fighter for the truth. Re-elect Senator Chris Duenas, speaking up for you.
I am Chris Duenas, and I approve this message.
Edward Alvarez, Treasurer.
Hafade, Tiro. My name is Arno I. Palacios. I'm running for governor with Mayor David Apateng. This election would be a defining moment for the Commonwealth. We urge you to go out and vote so that we can rebuild the trust in our government, we can rebuild a sustainable economy for the Commonwealth, and rebuild a future for our people. We are number 2 on the ballot. Please vote all the AD independent candidates that are running in this election so that we can rebuild the Commonwealth to what it's supposed to be. Thank you. Jesus Masi, Olamoy. Remember, number 2 on the ballot, AD 2022.
After and Tiro. Gahu si David Mundo Apateng, Malalaguzo pa Lieutenant Governor, Mahami muna dyan si Lieutenant Governor Palacios under the AD team, number 222. Por favor, engagago todos samjuni tato Marianas ni Ajudun Mijo, nahiam neste na oportunidad at tafanazo da muna, da ben ajuda todos samjuni tato ginig Marianas. Hasram in November dia 8, number 2 on the ballot, Viva AD, Viva Palacios Apateng, 2022. Donkulo na Jesus Masi, in Sengway Jai Hamzu, Gininzalo Lung Kurason Mami.
Viva Janta Sapota Arno Zande.
Hafaday. My name is Marianne Mana Silva Tyron, and I'm running for a seat in the 37th Guam Legislature. You might remember me from my media days, as I spent over 20 years covering news here on Guam. More recently, I served as a senator in the 31st Guam Legislature and as the deputy administrator of the Guam Economic Development Authority. I've always been an advocate for businesses and for building a strong economy for our island, and over the years have worked to create new laws that help to increase business activity and develop new industries on Guam. I've also created legislation that helped to improve access to government services. If elected to serve again, I will continue to focus on improving the economy because I believe that building a strong economy will allow us to better address critical needs in public safety, healthcare, and education. This general election, I ask that you give me one of your votes. I'm Marianne Mana Silva Tyron, and I'm number 12 on the Republican side of the ballot.
Hafade. I moved to Guam 23 years ago, living paycheck to paycheck just to make ends meet. Through hard work, I was able to build small businesses, not just to sustain my family, but also to provide job opportunities for our island. But I want more for Guam. I will use my experience to strengthen our economy by promoting affordable housing, food sustainability, and foster growth for all businesses. Together, we can make Guam stronger from within and set new standards for our island. I'm Bishop Mendiola, and I approve this message.
Howfade, I'm Clint Rigel. I've had the opportunity to work with Senator Joe San Augustine as his vice chair to his Committee on Appropriations. And I must say, he's done an excellent job with the budget during the 2 terms that he's had it. In fact, he's done such a great job that we've not only eliminated the deficit, we've created a surplus, something that's only possible by spending less money than we bring in. If you want someone who's fiscally responsible, vote for Senator Joe San Augustine.
Hi, I guess I'm doing the intro.
Yes, you are.
Hi, welcome to Kandit News on the 7th floor of the DNA building in Hagåtña, Guam. I'm Troy Torres.
And I'm Johnny Rosario.
And I'm Danielle Bassett.
And this is actually not my show. I'm just a guest on this show. But I did the intro. Okay, we're good. We're good. Thank you so much for joining us. Before the Daily Crime Report, I wanted to do a recap. I wanted to show you guys the video and photos that mainly Danielle took when we were in Saipan and Tinian, and mainly I didn't know that she was recording in most of these videos, so you'll see me in all my fat angles that she was able to capture. I'm sure, you know.
That was more natural.
Thanks, I appreciate. Thank you. So naturally fat, I appreciate that. Happy birthday to my mom, Dahlia Olikong.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Also Danielle's mom.
She's 45 today.
I'm sure she is. Yeah. That means I was born when she was 3.
5.
Yeah. And we have an older brother, which tells you, kind of gives you a ballpark as to how old my mom really is. But she looks young. She really does look young. She's half Japanese, so, you know, she's got that. Oh my gosh, they're going to cancel culture me now, right? Because I said something that has a race in it.
That's nice about them. Like, you're lucky you have such good skin.
Good genes. Good genes.
Good genes.
Good genes.
Except in these videos that Danielle took of me. Anyway, so we were in Saipan and Tinian. I believe we arrived in Saipan Saturday morning.
Thursday.
I'm sorry, Thursday morning. We went to Saipan, full disclosure, at the invitation and also the funding of the Democratic Party of the Northern Mariana Islands. So a lot of who we hung out with and what we did was centered around the election season of the Democratic Party. Though we did have, or I did have, breakfast one day with Lieutenant Governor candidate Saipan Mayor Dave Apatang and Clyde Narita, and there were a couple other people who were with us that morning. It was a nice breakfast at Sunnyside. Sunnyside was the place that we went to the most. I think I went there like 4 times. It's such a charming place, and the food is good. Mm-hmm. They have the best garlic fried rice for sure, and they have a lemonade. Did you try the lemonade?
No, I didn't do lemonade.
Oh, and then there was also this place, so we're just going to be touristy here. We were total tourists there. We also went to Monster Pizza Hub or Pub or something. Oh, it's in Garapan. Mm-hmm. It's right next to the Xerox office. Anyway, the place is so freaking good. Yeah. And first, I'm going to go all over the place. So before I do that, I really want to thank our Kandit Commonwealth General Manager, Vicky Lynn Magnolia, for really everything. The hospitality, making things as smooth as possible, making us feel loved. I want to thank Nola Hicks, the former, there's Vicky Lynn in the middle. She's so pretty, right?
I love you so much.
Is that at the back of her house?
Yes. So when we went to just hang out with her.
Yeah, we had a barbecue. It was nice, and her boyfriend or her husband Ray was. They were so hospitable. I was even helping to barbecue. When I say help, I mean I was watching while Ray barbecued, along with JP and Nicholas. They were doing all the barbecuing, and I was like, "Can I help?" I'll just sit here.
You transferred, and I saw you with a tongue.
That was just token stuff, just so I didn't.
I missed you guys. I wish I was there.
Oh, it was so fun.
We wish you were there too. Everyone in the Commonwealth
I was trying to pick
a
fight with Boo so I could jump on the next
Everyone
plane.
was like, "Where's Johnny?" I was like, "Sorry, you got me."
So actually, big announcement. Johnny and Danielle will be in Saipan for election results coverage, November 8 and November 9. They will be covering the elections as the returns come at the multi-purpose center. And Zach and I will be here on Guam covering the election here, so we'll be boring here on Guam while all the excitement is happening in Hamilton.
No, this is an exciting election here.
Yeah, but I really don't care.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I care more about what happens in the CNMI. Honest. I don't mean to be like a jerk about it. It's just true. I also want to thank Nola Hicks, the former chairwoman of the Democratic Party of the NMI. Nola is no longer the chairwoman because she now lives on Guam with her husband, who is at the U.S. Attorney's Office.
But she's still heavily involved.
Heavily involved.
Yeah.
Nola is, her heart is in the CNMI. She has a soft spot for the people of Tinian. And she was the one who coordinated everything. She actually convinced me to go because I was like, Nola, what's this trip about? You know, there's a lot of stuff that we have to do at home. And she's like, just take a break. Everything will be paid for. You'll be good. And I was like, Nola, I'm not going if I have to ride the small plane to Tinian. And she was like, okay, we'll take a boat. And I was like, okay, then you can confirm us. Danielle's going to come with me. Go ahead and confirm us then. And then the day before we're supposed to leave, I see in the itinerary, she sneaks in that we're taking a plane ride to Tinian. And I was like, 2 fingers up in the air. And I was like, Nola, you deceived me. She was like, don't worry about it. It's just 10 minutes. Because I'm deathly afraid of heights. But we'll show you some footage. So, I also, of course, I'm sorry, we cannot. We would be remiss if we didn't thank Selena Roberto Babatsu, the congresswoman. She's running for senator.
Yeah.
She was, I can't even begin to tell you how wonderful Selena is. And everything she did to, our trip was wonderful. And a lot of that had to do with Selena. She even took me to mass at 6 in the morning. We were up at dark 30. And so anyway, so here's some of the footage from our trip to Saipan. And I'll talk through it. Go ahead, Zach. So this is Java Joe's. I believe it's on Middle Road. I can't remember. But apparently this is where you go for like really good coffee. And they have a bunch of other stuff here too. Look at that jukebox. I love it.
So cool.
And this is one of those videos where I didn't know Danielle was videoing. And there's me in all my fat glory. Oh my God. Oh, look at that. This is outside Democratic headquarters on Middle Road, and I love those dogs. There's Luella Marciano Tume. I believe she's the secretary of the party, if I'm not mistaken.
Very nice woman.
And her husband's back there, and Selena's with us. And I think we go into the headquarters so you can see if you haven't seen it yet. Very welcoming people. They were so nice.
Are they well organized?
It seems like
It
it
looks
is,
nice.
and they were doing the canvas, the stuffing of the envelope, or not the envelopes, but the little baggies that they pass out when they go canvassing. They were canvassing every day. This party is a real on the ground party, like grassroots. There's Tina Sablon, Democratic candidate for
I
governor.
love her. She's
There's
so
Yvonne
smart.
Pangilinan. She's running for the CNMI House. So this was at Lash Out Bar, and I even got Danielle got me a T-shirt. Last Shot Bar. Danielle got me a T-shirt from there. This was actually a very fun night.
Super.
Now, one thing I've noticed about the political scene in the CNMI is, there's the CNMI's very first governor, Governor Carlos Camacho, and his wife, I believe, First Lady Winnie. And right behind him is Fabian and Delacia. This was such an honor to meet the first governor of the CNMI. And, coincidentally, our first elected governor, his name is Carlos Camacho. But this Carlos Camacho is a Democrat. And I believe he ran against Joe Ten. I think that's what Nola was saying. There's Fabian and Delacia. I got to meet him for the very first time. Love that guy. Love that guy. There's Selena.
She's introducing you to everybody.
I think that's Jeff Torres.
Oh, he ran against Tenno. Okay. So, so one thing I noticed about politics in the CNMI is it's not necessarily who has the bigger rally that wins. I was told that in 2020, for both the midterm election and the special election, the Karina versus Grace, the Republicans had, there's Ben and Tanya Salas. The Republicans had the biggest parties, And it was the same when we were there. The Republicans had the biggest motorcade parties, etc. The Democrats don't have very big parties. The Independents, they have big parties, but not as big as the Republicans. But apparently, it doesn't necessarily translate. There's Danny Kittigwa, the vice chairman of the Democratic Party. You could tell we were having a lot of fun.
I know, I wish I was there.
We even met Uncle Lino. There's Selena hulaing. I don't think that you'll hear the sound, and we had to mute it because we can't play
music,
copyrighted
right?
music. Yeah, but this is that. Yorana, tufale. I'm butchering the song. There's Ed Probst and his wife. Daisy is somewhere there. Okay, so now this was when I was flipping the hell out, and I had to do a lot of praying because we were about to get onto the plane, Star Marianas. And so if you're afraid of heights like I am, I'm going to assure you now, after taking this plane ride, you really don't have anything to be afraid of. But when I was getting onto the plane, which is smaller than Johnny's car, look how small this plane is, okay? I mean, I'm fat, but I'm not that fat. I was flipping out. My chili was sweating and everything. Plus, it was hot. Oh my gosh. Look at me. Look at me. I'm like, what? We have to climb on the wing? I don't, you can't see it, but I gave Nola the death stare right when I was passing her. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my gosh, I was flipping out. I was like, how is a plane this small? But it was fine. That's Captain Nathan Miller. And he made everything okay. You know, he just put us at ease, and I'm sure the Hail Mary, Our Father, and Glory Be was what really put me at ease. Look at Nola, is like, nothing's happening. I wanted to kill Danielle as she was. There's Freddie Dela Cruz. We were in Tinian already. This was after we filled our stomachs again at JC Cafe with buttered chicken. And here's Tinian. This was my first time to Tinian. Danielle's first time to Tinian. Was this your first time to Saipan, Danielle?
Yes, it was. It was so amazing.
So Tinian is beautiful, and the people are beautiful. Same as Saipan. There are, of course, not as many people, not as many businesses, not as much infrastructure as there is in Tinian, but that's going to change quickly. What we saw at JC Cafe were just a bunch of Marines coming in and out, getting food. And so, there's the divert airfield that's being built on the northern side of Tinian. So where we're at right now is the southern side, and this is where almost everybody lives. Almost all of the northern side has been leased to the United States military, I believe to the Navy. And the divert airfield, I believe, is 11 miles from the civilian airfield. Some FAA restrictions or something.
Everything.
So Freddie Dela Cruz, who's running for CNMI House from Tinian, he was the one who took us on this tour, and this really is a touristy, huh?
In that street.
What street?
In that street.
The Navy's in that street?
Name it. What's the name of it?
Oh, what's the name of the street? I don't know. Which one?
The runway?
Runway Street?
No, Broadway.
Oh, Broadway. Oh, I don't know. I wasn't paying. I'm not a very observant person. So we were, Zach, make sure you have your microphone on so people can hear what you're saying. Freddie took us everywhere. He took us to the atomic bomb pits. These were the pits where Fat Boy and Little something. The atomic bombs that fell on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
I thought it was atomic bomb.
Fat Man and Little Boy. Fat Man and Little Boy were the names of the missiles or the bombs. That America built, and it was from the old airstrip. I believe that's the airstrip right there. Oh no, I'm sorry. These are the pits. And Vigilan told us that you'll see a couple of these glass panels are covered with plywood, like right there. So remember that story that we did about the guns going missing? Apparently, it was after the guns went missing that these glass panels were shot up. So it's bomb number 2. This is where the bomb that was kept that fell in Nagasaki.
They built it there in Tinian?
I don't know if they built it there, but it was stored in that concrete encasement. I'm not sure if it was built in Tinian. Maybe, right?
Yeah.
That makes more sense. Huh? They loaded the planes here. And then there was a, I don't know if the video here is here, but it was we did visit the old airstrip. And it was from that airstrip in Tinian that the U.S. in 1940, I think August 1945, got the planes off the ground, and they headed under the cover of darkness to Hiroshima, and on the following day or 2 days later, Nagasaki. And then I believe it was August 6, 1945, the bomb fell in Nagasaki, and then by 3 a.m. the following morning, the emperor had ended the war.
I wonder what that part is there for.
Interesting stuff, huh? It was... the word's not exciting. You know, there's nothing exciting about seeing a place from which, you know, a bomb was built that killed hundreds of thousands of people. It was, maybe surreal is the right word. Just history, you know, seeing it and understanding how close it is to home. Oh, thanks for getting me vaping, sister. I appreciate that. Show everybody.
Even me too.
You like my Oba Scoba shirt? Danielle got it for me. Look how excited Freddie is about Tinian. He has this Tinian shirt.
Remember the Tato Mariana shirt that I was supposed to get for you, which you end up paying for?
Oh yeah, I got this yellow shirt at the airport at Tinian, Tato Mariana's.
That was nice. I saw you were wearing
Yeah.
it at the restaurant.
So I don't know what this. Do you have? Is the Taga Festival stuff here? So we didn't get down to the Taga Festival, and a lot of that has to do with me sleeping in the car. And Danielle got footage of that too. I'll kill her if it's in here. The people of the CNMI don't need to see me sleeping on the job again.
They already saw that.
They already saw
very
that
first trip over
in
there.
the House of Representatives. We can go ahead and skip to the next. What is this?
This is the memorial of the Korean.
Oh,
memorial.
this is in Marpi, right? Last command post. So this is these are Korean War memorials, right?
Yes.
Oh, Japanese?
One said Korean.
One said Korean, yeah. One said Korean.
But this is where the Japanese actually
Yes, and so these cannons are facing the ocean, and apparently when the Americans were coming in, the Japanese would try to hit the ships. Oh, okay, very very quick. All right, where's this? Is this last shot?
Pit.
Oh,
Yeah,
this is
the Probst pit.
this is the Probst party pit. So this is Ed Probst's parents' home. I believe they're turning it into an Airbnb, but we had. Oh, okay, very fast.
No, this is not Fiesta.
Oh, okay. No, don't play this one yet. Let me intro this one. So, well, first you have the picture of Navy Hill. So many people. I think the first question that we got was, or the biggest question we got was, "Where's Johnny?" That was number one. Number two was, "Are you guys here for Rowena's October 28th expose?" And you know, I would tell people we're not staying that long. We're just, you know, are you interviewing Rowena? And the answer is no. We are just going to carry whatever it is that she has to say. And I need to ask her publicly if please don't cuss in it, because we'll get dinged. If there's any, otherwise we'd be cussing all the time. And the third question we got asked is, are you here because there's going to be a federal indictment? And that always brought a smile to my face. And I would tell people, we're leaving Monday, but if there's an indictment, we're not leaving. What I didn't know was that there was some federal activity on October 15 on Navy Hill. A bunch of feds were, I don't know if you can zoom into this, but a bunch of feds were assembled on Navy Hill. And apparently this is just a couple minutes from the chairlady's house and a couple of minutes from Vince Torres' house. I met Vince Torres, by the way, at the gym, at Gold's Gym. Yeah. And the first, I saw him twice, matter of fact. So the first time, Selena and I went to Gold's Gym to work out. I think it was Thursday. It was the day we came in. and he split. And then the next day, I was at the bar in front of the gym, and Vince Torres came in, and he said hello. He was nice. I saw Kim Hines. It was the second time I've met her, and she was very nice at the gym. And where was I getting? From federal officials to Vince Torres. No necessary association. So this was on October 15.
The indictments.
Well, you know, if there was going to be indictments. Now, my boyfriend, Semi, he was born in Saipan, and he left when he was 2 or 3 years old. And so I asked him, I was like, do you have any pictures of you in Saipan? He sent pictures over, and one of the pictures shows him in front of a dolphin. So I was asking everyone, is this dolphin anywhere? And they were like, that's La Fiesta Mall. I was like, the closed down mall? Yeah, the closed down, the one where the bodies are found, the murdered bodies are found. And like, yeah, I was like, all right. And like, by the time we were able to, you know, just do things, like just go around, nobody was available. And so I took Danielle, and we went to Marpi, right? It's in Marpi? It's where?
San Roque.
It's in San Roque.
See, it is San Roque.
Also, there's 2 San Roques? Oh, there's a San Jose and a San Roque. I was wrong. Oh, I was wrong, Danielle.
Thanks.
There is a San Roque. Okay.
One. Okay.
So we went, and you have to listen to the conversation we had in the car as we were flipping out about how we didn't want to be murdered in this place. Go ahead and play this video. It's about 3 minutes long.
Give me a video that nobody will see.
Hopefully it uploads to the cloud. Where's the... We just want to see the dolphin.
Just the dolphin, everyone. Lots of negative meaning. Just the dolphin. No need to be mad at anything.
Be mad.
Where is the dolphin, for crying out loud?
Should have been there.
We are not going inside the mall. Screw that.
Well, tell me this was for you. We tried so hard.
Where's the dolphin? Son of a gun.
They swapped it. It's gone. It's at the man's house now. It says San Roque. Right up there.
Where does it say San Roque?
Right up there.
But this is not San Roque.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's just graffiti.
It's just, oh my goodness, we're gonna get killed. This is a sprawling mall.
Maybe that's the road we're supposed to come out of.
Can they at least do the lawn? So it's not so freaking ratchet? What if the dolphin is inside the boonies?
I think it is, to be honest.
TBH?
FYI. As for Selena.
Okay, there needs to be a rule here from now on, all right? Whenever any of you are going to videotape me, you have to do it like up here, okay? No more like this, or like never like this, ever, okay? Until I got my beach bod going on and this is no longer there, it's always like this.
But I've been putting the 0.5 lens because Kimmy said it makes it look skinnier.
You guys have to show me how to do that on a selfie.
I am.
Yeah, so... The reason I wanted to show that, well, of course, to show the La Fiesta Mall, and you know, it's sad that it closed down, was because we had Danielle and I had a conversation after that. So the first time, so she asked me, you know, like, what's with this place? And I was like, this is the second place where the murdered bodies are found. in Saipan. You know, there's been a bunch of unsolved murders in Saipan. And she's like, what's the first place? I was like, oh, let me tell you the story about the first place. The first place is the hotel that we stayed at the first time we went to Saipan. Not the first time that I went there, but the first time for Kandit. In January 2020. In January 2020, Selena was the one that booked us the room. And so she booked us at the Aquarius, right? And I wasn't, I wasn't familiar with where things are in Saipan, but I'd read a lot of stories about murdered bodies or murdered people found, their bodies found. And it was generally at a beach. And so, I think it was the morning that we left for Saipan, January 2020, there was a story that identified this beach as being right behind the Aquarius Hotel. And I was like, oh my goodness, we're going to stay at the place where the murdered bodies are found. And we're going to this place by ourselves. Where the second findings of murdered bodies. And there we were, and Danielle was like, yeah, don't worry about it, I'm recording. I'm like, yeah, a recording that no one's gonna find.
I said it'll drop to the cloud. Johnny will get it. She will figure it out.
Vicky Lynn got us $400 worth of Herman's Bakery. Wanted to thank her for that. There were quite a few places that we went, and the food in Saipan is better than it is here. The restaurants, hands down, are better. There's a place called Casa Uroshima. It's behind. Behind the church in Garapan.
Yeah, it looks like a house.
Yeah, I think it's just a house that turned into a business. I met Kelvin Fitial, the MMA fighter.
Oh wow.
We wanted to meet Frank the Crank there, along with I'm having a brain fart. What's the other fighters' name? They have a gym together there. Trench. Cookie Alvarez, yes. But they weren't there at the time. We had lunch with Nettie C and with Josh B from Guam Funny Memes, and that was at...
Oh, that's the other person in the picture?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That Shinsen.
Delicious sushi place.
Yeah, the first day I was there, my leather skirt broke.
At Herman's Bakery. She ate corned beef.
I ate cabbage and onions.
Corned beef, cabbage, and onions. And garlic fried rice, and the sweetbread. Her zipper broke. And Vicky Lynn had to use all her strength to help her. Yeah. I think she gave her clothes or something.
I do have to say, Capital Kitchen's buffet is delicious.
Oh, okay.
So I did do something while you guys are gone.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Appreciate that.
It was a Sunday brunch. It was really delicious. Super delicious.
Oh, we should try that out.
The old papas, yeah. Yeah.
We should try that out. Capital Kitchen, you guys have to step up your marketing because your name, because nobody knows the name of your restaurant. Everybody refers to it as the Old Papas. Yeah. But the location, right? It's a very good location. So just step up your branding of your name because everyone refers to it as the Old Papas.
It was good.
So thank you so much to the people of the CNMI for your hospitality, your warmth, and all the joy you brought to us. I really love Saipan and Tinian. Last time I was in Rhoda, I think it was in 1992. So I very much look forward to going back there and visiting. Like I said, we will be back in the CNMI. Johnny and Danielle will be there. Sorry.
Hopefully I see Carmen Pangilinan there again. I really like her.
Who's Carmen
Pangilinan?
Okay.
She's the one that I took the picture with, and she said it's when I start laughing.
Oh yes. Oh, and Ilaria Duenas.
Yes.
I think it's her last name.
Mm-hmm.
We met her over at Herman's. Yeah. We didn't get a chance to meet.
You guys didn't go to that restaurant, the nice lady. Remember the restaurant we went to for lunch? Me, you, and then we met Selena there. And then the owner lady, Carmen, came out.
Oh, yeah. It's based in Caprio.
What is it called?
What's the name of the restaurant? Man.
And where?
Go there? Selena didn't take you
what
there?
village?
Before you go up Caprio.
Yeah, and she has two sisters.
No, we didn't.
Man.
There were a bunch of places we were supposed to go, but there just wasn't any time. We really screwed off on our itinerary.
She used to be a
DOE,
superintendent or
Oh,
something.
Dr. Rita Sablan.
There we go.
We're gonna go back there. We're gonna go there the next time we're there. We made a promise to go there. Yeah.
I'm going there.
Yeah, we really do want to go there. The food was good, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I keep hearing that. Yeah, there's a lot of restaurants in Saipan, and the food is really, really good everywhere.
Did you guys get a massage?
As you can tell. No, they were all booked. Every time we tried to book a massage, everywhere was booked.
Well, yeah, it was.
I really wanted to get a massage. Even Sarah Felicia was like, get a massage.
Okay. So we'll be. Are you done?
Yeah, do you have any questions?
No questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
When we come back, we'll bring you Guam's news, sad news.
Honest to God. Honest.
The magistrate.
Wait, people. So a lot of people in Saipan were like, "Are you going to cover our election?" And that was when I called you guys, and I was like, "Let's do the November 8 and 9, right?" I was like, you know what? I want to, because honestly, I really don't care about the election on Guam. And they're like, why? And there are people in Saipan who are following our elections here. They're like, is it going to be Lou or is it going to be Felix? And I'm like, I don't know. I hear it's a close race, whatever. But whatever, right? But I really care. I really care about the elections here in the CNMI. And they're like, why? And I said, because it feels like, the work we do here at Kandit to expose things actually helps. And a lot of it has to do with the feedback we get from the people of the Commonwealth. And when you're in this business, what motivates us on a daily basis, because things get hard, is knowing that we're able to help make a difference. And they're like, why is that? And I said, I think there's a very simple reason behind this. I think when God created the Mariana Islands, he sent all the smart people up north. Like.
Well, when we come back from this short commercial break, we'll bring you the yesterday and today's magistrates.
Weekend and.
A great humanitarian once said that the difference between a career politician and a leader is the politician cares about the number of years served, and the leader just cares about serving. This defines Senator Chris Duenas. He is a seasoned statesman whose focus has always been on being a champion for the masses and a fighter for the truth. Re-elect Senator Chris Duenas, speaking up for you.
I am Chris Duenas, and I approve this message.
Edward Alvarez, Treasurer.
I have different goals as I age. I want to be stronger and healthier, but it's got to fit my lifestyle. I can't spend all day in the gym and it can't be crowded. So here at CrossFit Pizza, I have all these different options for fitness, and the people are really nice. The atmosphere is inviting. It's like family. Go Guam employees and retirees, sign up today for CrossFit Pizza for free when you choose Take Care as your insurance carrier, and for 50% off if you choose Select Care. It's an investment you'll love.
One thing about Attorney Fisher is he likes fairness, so I believe everyone will be treated equally.
He likes helping people. I'm looking for a fighter.
I'm looking for a senator who is willing to stand up for the people.
I'm looking for someone who not only supports the older generation, but also the younger generation.
He's a good man and he does what he says.
The Diaz family supports Tom Fisher.
I'm Tom Fisher, and I approve this message.
Hafa Day, dear people of Guam. I am Peter Santos, and I am running as a write-in candidate for the Attorney General of Guam. It is absolutely no secret that on Guam there is a violent crime crisis, and criminals are not being held responsible because there just aren't enough trained and qualified prosecutors. Prosecutors are highly specialized attorneys, and not just any attorney can be a good prosecutor. I really wish I could say that the crisis that we are experiencing at the prosecution division at the Attorney General's office under Levan Camacho is unprecedented. But the sad reality and the harsh truth is that we've been down this road before with Douglas Moylan. Both Levan and Doug have driven away good prosecutors. If you haven't been able to decide who's worse, Levan or Doug, in this election, there is another option. Me, Peter Santos. Write in Peter Santos for Attorney General of Guam. I am the only candidate that has been a GPD officer, a prosecutor, a magistrate, and a defense attorney as well. I am the only candidate that has been in the trenches and rose through the ranks. I am the only candidate that is a common citizen without family interest in big business. I am the only candidate that can fix the crisis that we are in and provide a safer Guam. Write-in Peter Santos for Attorney General. Thank you. Si Diyos maasi. Maraming salamat. And Kilisong.
Terong ani kami resau mar me reilumar ngang ursemiam lino meta olopai. Imusan tangar malilu ngani kami masal ngani kami babu fitiye le itti Selina Roberto Babauta bobotolong boye nice Congress nomor nyan balad nge ruo automalikilo nomor nyan balad nge ruo belan November walu lan maram musik kemutingani au sihi uri ululu nyan ngang melan House of Representatives eseb mesah hibura hiwana charmalian ye wikita ngairala mikagat dengan igis meas government ebal senir me eno precinct 2 ebal monar alnger sakna we esabior the ferno melan fanu kafanwas wan te hi lokametaka ekera boba mala the ferno melan meas government Oyas hero balan fanu kafanwas bali ye hero atto tabwe ya musene me ba to tabwe busi atto lenge Selina Roberto Babauta nomor ruo lanyan balad bisi atto lenge webono boy as senator lan election sikkem matengene lan November Giliso ngani kami resa omar merelumar. Giliso.
Fear and intimidation has no place in our government. Yet Tony and I hear from many people they are being intimidated to support the current administration. They're being told to put campaign signs in their yard or bumper stickers on their car. Tony and I will never threaten or intimidate. This is not what our island is about. This has no place in our community. It's time to restore our values and traditions of honor, duty, and respect. It's a new season. I'm Felix Camacho, and I approve this message.
Welcome back. We are starting off with Rachelap, Christine Rachelap. On or about October 22nd, officers spoke with Teki at the Hong Kong Center in Mongmong, Totomaiti. Teki told officers that a woman later identified as defendant Christine Rachelap had thrown a rock at a vehicle owned by Teki's boyfriend. The vehicle is a 2015 Nissan Sentra. Teki stated that she was sitting in the vehicle when the defendant picked up a rock and threw it, striking the driver's side door. Teki noticed that there was a dent on the door which did not exist before the rock was thrown. Based on the foregoing, there is probable cause to charge Christine Giovanna Rachelap with criminal mischief.
Next we have Francisco Cruz III. On or about October 22nd, 2022, in Guam, police officer Jason Dodd responded to a traffic crash on Route 27, Harmon Loop Road, and Adrian Sanchez Street in the Harmon portion of Tumaning. One of the vehicles involved in the accident was a black 2016 Hyundai Accent. The operator of this vehicle was identified to be Francisco Cruz III. The third or the second?
The second.
It says down here the third.
All right.
He was observed by Officer Dodd sitting in the Accent's driver's seat and was the lone occupant of the vehicle. During the course of Officer Dodd's investigation of the crash, he observed that the defendant had bloodshot, watery eyes and the defendant's speech was slurred, that the defendant's movements during the conversation with Officer Dodd were slow and seemed dull. Officer Dodd smelled the odor of an intoxicating beverage emitting from the defendant's breath as defendant spoke. The officer went from the defendant to the operator of the other vehicle that was involved in the crash. The operator of that vehicle was identified to be Hardy Tan Vai. The vehicle that Vai was operating was a 2020 Toyota 4Runner. Vai informed Officer Dodd that he was experiencing pain to his right shoulder and right knee. Vai also stated that he suspected that the operator of the other vehicle was intoxicated. Officer Dodd concluded from his investigation that the defendant, while operating the Hyundai Accent, had failed to follow the curvature of the road and drove into the path of the oncoming Toyota 4Runner, causing the front left corners of the vehicles to collide. When Officer Dodd turned to the Accent, the defendant was seated on the driver's seat, and Officer Dodd noted that the air around the defendant had a minty odor, causing Officer Dodd to suspect that the defendant had attempted to mask his breath with mouthwash or a mint. The defendant admitted to Officer Dodd that he had earlier consumed 2 vodka sodas. A breath test was later administered to the defendant using an intoximeter, Intox ECIR-2. The test result yielded a reading of 0.168 BAC. Based on the foregoing, there is probable cause to charge Francisco Cruz III with vehicular negligence with bodily injury, vehicular negligence with 2 counts of vehicular negligence with bodily injury, driving while impaired as a misdemeanor, and I don't know what that means. BAC.
On or about October 23rd, officers entered a walk-in complaint filed by a woman who was alleging that her daughter had been sexually molested by Peter Duenas Mendiola. According to the report, officers met with the victim, who told them that on or about October 19, she was watching television in a house in Jigo. While sitting on the couch, she had covered herself with a blanket. The victim told police that the defendant was also sitting by her feet on the couch, when she suddenly noticed he put his hand under the blanket and started rubbing her legs. The victim also told police that while rubbing her legs, the defendant moved his hand up her legs until he reached her intimate private part and started rubbing it. The report indicates that the defendant stopped rubbing the victim's private part when a dog started barking. The victim told officers that the defendant was rubbing her private part under her panties. Officers met with the defendant, and he acknowledged sitting on the couch with the victim watching television, but declined to say anything more. Based on the foregoing, there is probable cause to charge Peter Duenas Mendiola with second-degree criminal sexual conduct.
That one was the worst, I think. So we have Steve's story. On or about August 7, 2022, at approximately 6:45 p.m., GPD officers responded to a walk-in complaint at the Dedido Precinct Command. GPD officers met with victim 1 and victim 2. Victim 2 stated that while at home, her son, victim 1, ran into the room, closed the door, and told her that his father, Steve Story, pulled out a machete and pointed it at him for talking back. Victim 2 stated that earlier that day, the defendant had been yelling at her to get out of his house and to never return. When asked why her husband was acting that way, Victim 2 stated that she believes he's coming down from his high from drugs. Victim 1 stated that he and defendant got into an argument in the kitchen, and when he talked back to defendant pulled out a machete, pointed it at him, and waved it at him and said, "You want to talk like that to me, boy?" Victim 1 felt scared and threatened, so he rushed to Victim 2's bedroom and told her what had happened. Victim 1 said that earlier, defendant was acting aggressive to Victim 2, and he even threw a coat hanger at her. Defendant stated to the police that he pulled out an old rusted machete and pointed it at his son and told him not to ever talk back to him like that ever again while he was 10 feet away from him. Defendant stated he only used the machete as a pointer and did not make any threat of any kind towards his son. On or about October 24th, 2022, at about 6:10 a.m., GPD officers responded to a complaint at a residence in Dedido. GPD officers met with Victim 2, who stated that the defendant was asking her for some of her prescribed painkiller medication. When she refused, defendant became upset and he yelled profanities at her and told her that he was going to slap and punch her. They argued for a bit, and defendant told her that he was going to ram their vehicle into their house gate. Defendant then walked out of the residence, got into their vehicle, and rammed their house gate, which damaged both the gate and their vehicle. Victim 2 stated that she was scared of defendant and that she is in fear that defendant might hurt her and their son in the future if he continues to be unstable due to his addiction to prescription drugs and methamphetamine. Victim 2 stated that police had responded numerous times to their residence in the past for similar incidents. In his interview with the police, defendant stated that he was upset that morning because he had run out of his painkillers, which he needed for his physical disabilities. Defendant asked his wife for some of hers, but she refused, so he was upset and he took his truck and hit his own gate. Defendant stated that he did not hit her or cause harm to her, but did make empty threats. Based on the foregoing, there is probable cause to charge Steve D. Story with terrorizing and family violence.
He looks...
Yeah.
Right? He looks familiar, though. On or about October 24 at approximately 9:30 a.m., Guam police officers received information regarding a child abuse complaint. The victim had reported that she was assaulted by a family member, Nardi Billy. Earlier that day, the victim yelled for her mom to take her to school. After knocking on the defendant's door repeatedly, the defendant opened the door and the defendant began to punch the victim's face multiple times and scratch the victim. The defendant also grabbed the victim by the arms and threw her to the bedroom wall and to the bedroom floor. The victim told the defendant to stop hurting her, but the defendant didn't stop. Another adult present within the home also told the defendant to stop, but the defendant did not stop. The victim then left the residence and called for her father. Officers observed the victim's injuries and noted the following: redness and swelling to both sides of the victim's face and eyes to injuries, one on her arms. The report indicates that the defendant told officers that she only slapped the victim and that the defendant admitted she was wrong. Based on the foregoing, there's probable cause to charge Nardi Billy with child abuse and family violence.
Correct. You're right. That one was the worst one.
Yeah. We're done?
Yes, we are.
Oh, we're done. Okay, we got to go pick up kids now, guys. Yeah. Very good, Guam. Very good. Thank you all for joining us. It was a great show. It was a treat having Troy on. Please drive safe, and we will see you tomorrow.
Hafaday and Mabuhay. I am former Senator Dennis Rodriguez Jr. I had the opportunity of working with Senator Josan Augustine when I was in the Guam legislature. I know him as an honest, hardworking, and compassionate leader. Please join me and my family in voting for Senator Josan Augustine this general election. Thank you, Seitus Maasi, maraming salamat po, and God bless Guam.
One thing about Attorney Fisher is he likes fairness, so I believe everyone will be treated equally.
He likes helping people. I'm looking for a fighter.
I'm looking for a senator who is willing to stand up for the people.
I'm looking for someone who not only supports the older generation, but also the younger generation.
He's a good man and he does what he says.
The Diaz family supports Tom Fisher.
I'm Tom Fisher, and I approve this message.
I have different goals as I age. I want to be stronger and healthier, but it's gotta fit my lifestyle. I can't spend all day in the gym and it can't be crowded. So here at CrossFit Pizza, I have all these different options for fitness and the people are really nice. The atmosphere is inviting, it's like family. GovGuam employees and retirees, sign up today for CrossFit Pizza for free when you choose Take Care as your insurance carrier and for 50% off if you choose Select Care. It's an investment you'll love.